History repeating. Dun, 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 dun. Hello. Oh, fuck. Shit, fuck. Everybody's a shit, fuck. Hello, welcome to 10 out of 10 Club. Da, da, da. I've got a sandwich ready. Yeah. I don't know how long this game is. Well, I do know how long this game is. Sorry, no, never mind. Welcome to 10 out of 10 Club. Welcome to 10 out of 10 Club. Welcome to 10 out of 10 Club. We're going to be playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This has arrived on PS Plus today, so up until now it's been 20 quid, I think, something like that. I've wanted to play it for a long time, ever since I played Lake on this channel, which is a walking simulator. This is in that vein. I think there's puzzles in this. I don't really know. I don't really know much about this, other than it's called the Stanley Parable, and it's a walking simulator. Should we do it? Let's do it. I have been looking forward to this for a little bit. Excuse me, disgusting. I don't know anything about it. Let's try it up a bit. Turn it up a bit. It was very quiet. We're going to have English subtitles. No. That's fine. The current time, I don't know. Oh something. 37. That's fine. 12:37 a.m. Okay. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, I think we're in an office or something. I'll make them large. Make that. I wanted to make it 50. That's better. Off, yeah. Don't need that. Low dexterity, my research. That's fine. No, but let's get on with it. I don't know what happens, but sure.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Was he now?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Okay.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. Alright, movement's fine, whatever. Okay. We are going to put on the reticule. Yeah, that's fine. Might make that a bit bigger. I just can't. I just. This is a game. At the same time, it's an experience. But we want to be able to play the game. That's better, right. Okay, now we can see what we're actually aiming at. If we need to aim at anything. Weird, nothing. Okay. Okay, we can shut the door.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Oh, that was meant to happen.
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days.
Oh, fuck.
Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to.
Yeah.
He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay. That was weird.
Stanley simply couldn't.
Right, okay. I did that. I thought it had done. I thought that was a story beat.
What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
So that's an ending. That's cool.
No.
Okay.
This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by?
Probably.
He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt,
Yeah.
was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end.
Cool.
He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Right, so that was me. I wasn't sure if that was just part of the story or whether I'd actually done that. Anyway, we're out now. Well, I can't go back in my room.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, mate.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nah.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, hang on. Whoops.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, just before we go any further, the presentation in this game is fucking wicked. It feels like a fully fleshed out world. The narration is excellent. It's like a weird, eerie atmosphere. It's fantastic. Eerie atmosphere, and it's bright as anything. Love it. Really, really interesting so far. Oops. Maybe I should turn all the computers off. Ooh, what's this? Okay, never mind. Oh. I did something. Okay, never mind. Did I come in this way? Yes. Come in that way. Interesting. I hate Mondays. I don't really have a Monday anymore. It's all the same fucking shit. Every day is the... Ooh. Can't go in there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh. Am I a contrarian or am I... Somebody asked me to do something. I generally don't follow their instruction. I'd rather argue with them than... Oh, I don't know. I'm a contrarian.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Sure. I am a...
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I like that this is a... The game knows it's a game. What's this? Can I interact with anything? I'm really unsure what I'm...
Yes, really, really worth it being.
Yeah, all right.
A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished,
mate, all right.
but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, God, I'm a contrarian, mate. Oh, no, he didn't.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What's this thing? Oh, we're locked out now. Okie dokie. Alright, I guess we're on the lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Okay.
Someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Okay. Oh. Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Okay. Oh, fuck.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about...
Gotcha.
That was terrifying.
Come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Maybe.
They want to commit their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
I don't want to. Okay. Hey.
This is a very sad story about the death of
Oh,
a man
fuck.
named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I'm not doing it. I wonder how long it takes. It's like a fucking psychological experiment. Fine.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Okay.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown.
Okay.
Fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh, rude.
And so he began to
Oh, what?
fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
What?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
Sure.
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Okay. What the fuck? I'm so confused.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Okay. Oh, God. How long can we wait, do you reckon? I'm kind of stuck here.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing
That's
beyond
so
hope
weird.
that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Ah, fuck.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Oh, is this a bad ending?
All he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
What the fuck?
And I'm trying to tell him this. That in this world he can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I don't know.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Whoa. That got very dark. I got very dark.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't know.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, I'm going to actually go there this time.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Yeah.
he entered the door on his left.
Okay.
Yet there was not a
Oh
single
yeah, there was that
person
other
there.
room we could have gone in.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
What the fuck? That's fucking brilliant. That's very funny. Alright. Any more slides? Number of slides on this slide. Shots. That's funny. There's so much detail. That's what I like. Is there anything funny on here? Alright, I get it. Oh, fucking hell. About pollution. Okay. How many slides are here? Okay, there we go. Okay, bye. Oh, what?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Alright. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Uh-oh.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
Oh my god.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Maybe.
All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a
I've seen
dream.
that picture before.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Have I been here before?
He thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field.
Oh no.
And when the two appeared, it was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything?
This is so meta, it's unbelievable.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was
Oh,
Stanley
weird.
simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream.
Sure.
Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up.
Oh,
He felt
shit.
the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Crap.
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
What the fuck, man?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real.
Oh,
Please,
fuck.
just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh, fuck, Stanley.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her
What
place
the
of work.
fuck?
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself.
What the
then
fuck?
collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Jesus Christ.
Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was
That somebody
comforting
does.
to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And
Okay.
then she turned and ran.
Okay then, I died. Alright then.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sure, I'm gonna go this way again.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors.
'Cause I'm a contrarian.
Meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to
Okay.
admire it.
Doors like that ones I can open? No.
Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business,
Okay.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright, I will.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, did he now? No, he didn't. Oops. Oh.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track.
Uh-oh.
So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh.
No, it's to the right, my mistake.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Uh-oh, I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die. Oh, it's reading the...
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, fuck. This is wild, man. What a really interesting game. Oh, shit.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler.
Whoa.
Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
What the fuck?
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
What the fuck?
Suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Whoa.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. This is wild, man.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
This is wild. I love this.
All
It's
of his
so...
co-workers
Ooh.
were gone. What could it mean?
It's so smart.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's so cool. The doors aren't shutting now.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
This is wild. This is wild, man. I love it.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
What the actual...
No, wait,
Whoa.
never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This is so weird. I love it. Oh no, the door's gonna be... Oh, fuck.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct?
What
Do you
the
remember, Stanley?
fuck? Not really.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Finally!
You put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job.
Thanks, babe.
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh no. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Nope. I won't do it. Oh, fuck. I have to. Okay.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Sure. What was that noise? Hang on. It went somewhere. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've changed it. Ah! I don't know where I'm going now. I guess this way.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Fern.
Stanley, this fern will be very important
Wait
later in
now.
the story. Make
Okay.
sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay then. La 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 la.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done
Whoa.
this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Wow. This is so good. It's so bloody interesting.
You know what, Stanley?
Whoa.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Okay.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
I don't know. Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild.
Ah, God.
Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
What the fuck? This is so peculiar. Okay.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
Oh,
From
fuck.
here, the story is in our control.
Yeah.
Important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley.
Brilliant.
Our destiny awaits.
But oh. I don't want to go in there. Oh, I guess I have to.
Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart
Whoa.
the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined.
Whoa.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank
Whoa.
simply because it's written here on this thing.
I don't know if this is one of the endings or whether it's...
Who consulted me?
Or we're actually meant to go here. This is so fucking
Why
weird.
don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something
This
happen?
is so weird.
So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
That's wild. This is wild. Oh, shit.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Oh,
he entered the
God.
door on his left.
No, he didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet
Whoa.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What the fuck? This is so weird.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him?
I don't
What he
know.
could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I can't see it. I beg your pardon? Oh, here. Alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now where am I going?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Oh my
Why
God.
did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
The fuck? What the fuck?
Stanley walked straight ahead to the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No thank you. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Although this passageway had
Ah,
escape
crap.
written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his
Ah,
death.
shit. Can we go back? Ah, fuck it. I don't know how I got here, but sure.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh. Ah.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise,
Oh,
he reflected
fuck.
that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Oh, no,
Stanley
no.
can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
Shit.
Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
No.
Stanley,
Oh, crap.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh.
And yet it would be just a few minutes
Ah,
before Stanley
poop.
would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I don't know. I'm very confused. Okay. Oh, fuck. What is that? I don't know.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless.
What the
making
hell?
life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
What the fuck? Is this where I've been? What the fuck? This is so meta, it's unbelievable. I just... What the fuck? So this is the credits. What the fuck? I'm so confused. Fun. I'm so confused. What the fuck? I'm so confused. This is excellent. But fucking weird. Two options. Vent. Confusion ending. Okay. What? I'm so confused. How do I get the fuck out of here? What? I don't know. What the fuck? What the fuck? Eh? Okay. So this is where I came in, right?
And finally, he pushed the number 9. The number 8.
What the actual fuck is going on? I think I'm meant to go near the... I gotta get in there, haven't I? No, not in there. In there.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
What?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
I'm so confused.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
I'm so confused.
But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation.
No!
There's no other way to beat this game.
I will
As
not.
long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
Nope.
Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I'm dead. Okay, bye. Oh, won't you take me home tonight? Well. Ahoy hoy? I'm trying to answer it.
Hello. This is a recorded message
Ah.
sent either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
That was interesting. What the fuck is this game? I kind of love it. I kind of love the atmosphere. It's fantastic. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh, God.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
All right.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes, he did. Back in here.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Yep.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yes, he did.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered a lot. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Wow. Such a smart game.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Sure. Okay. Down we go. We'll actually go into the mind control this time. That was wild. This game's wild. It's very odd. I absolutely love the oddness.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Yeah,
Mind
I
Control
will.
Facility.
I will, because there's fuck all else we can do. Hello. Oh, God.
The lights rose on an enormous room
Oh,
packed
shit.
with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
We've already been
Did
here.
he have the strength to find out?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Now the monitors
Oh!
jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where
Where's-
freedom meant
Where's
nothing.
mine? Where's mine? There's me there. That one. Weird, man.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Probably.
Is this the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Probably.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yeah.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't
shit,
accept
where are
it.
we going
His
now?
own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Yeah.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Probably.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Sure. That's what he'll do. This is wild, man.
Oh, Stanley. You didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yeah.
Kept you enslaved all these years. You go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that
Yeah.
what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave.
Whoops.
If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the
fuck's
network's
sake.
emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification,
Ah, fuck.
nuclear detonators are said to explode,
What?
eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your
No.
time to shine. You are the star. It's your story.
What?
Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time
Oh,
left.
God.
Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
What the fuck?
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley. Quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You
The
wanted
fuck?
to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. choices. Will you cling desperately to your frail life?
Yeah.
Let it go peacefully. Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
This game's wild. That's wild. That is fucking wild.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries?
What?
Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on. Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I want to go and do that first.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
I want to go and do this first.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's
This
office.
is so weird. I absolutely love it. It's so good.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Oh, brilliant. What a game. What a fucking smart-ass game. What a smart-ass game. It's so good. So interesting, so clever. This is how you make a game. I know every game can't be like this. Can't be the same, but...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah. Yes, he did, 'cause it's a twat.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Blah, 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 blah,
What
blah.
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get on with it.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, we know.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Sure.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That
Maybe.
his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Maybe.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Is it even possible?
Sure.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And
All
as
right.
the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would...
What did that do?
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Dunno.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do.
This isn't real.
Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing.
This can't be
Stanley
real.
stepped through the open door.
And he will once it opens.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his
My
skin,
God, I've actually
the
escaped.
feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new
Meh,
path
meh,
before him.
meh, meh.
This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yeah.
And Stanley was happy.
What? Oh. Sure. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Sure. Here we go.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know, but bye. Oh, shit.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Okay,
As you
whoa.
may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I wonder if it's just nothing.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
I bet it's nothing.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
It'll be nothing.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Is it going to be anything? Oh. The jump circle. What?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Does it matter if I'm out? No, I've got to be in the jump circle. Oh, that's it. Ha! That's brilliant. What a smart idea.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If
Yeah.
this is new content, Then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay. Uh, uh, all right, let's do it. Da da da. Huh? Dee 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 dee. Yeah. Yeah. La 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 la. Oh, okay. Another office.
That's it?
That's
Oh,
brilliant.
you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video
That's
game
brilliant.
developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this?
Lol.
I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having
Oh,
a good
God.
time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Is that it? Is that really? That can't be it. Oh, what? That's different. Okay. Haha.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
All right. I'll go in the bloody vent. Oh god. Oh god.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want.
What the fuck?
Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is so peculiar. But I like it.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Weird. Weird, 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 and I love it. It's so meta. What did it get BAFTA'd for? For the story. Debut game. Game innovation. What did it actually win? Did it not win any? I can't see what that says. I don't know, but they obviously stole it and then... That's brilliant. That's very clever. This is so wild. It's just... Such...
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley
This is so fucking weird.
every game ever created.
What an
It was Skyrim,
experience.
it was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Uh-oh. Memory zone means weird. Right, bye.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation. Boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise.
Indeedly. Oh, do.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, shit.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Yeah. This is so weird now. I don't know if I like this as much as I like the first bit. We don't really have... Not really making any choices now.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't.
No, it was perfect.
What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These
No, if
marks
that's an
on my otherwise unimpeachable track record.
If that's an actual review, then they're an idiot. 'Cause this is wonderful.
Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
They'll add a skip button now.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations. Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps.
I wonder how long he goes on for.
I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on how exactly pressurized gas works. Perhaps that would have been a smart thing to check on before I went on about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is who runs pressurized gas will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back.
Oh, God.
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Yeah, bye. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. How long has that been? This is cool.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an
I'm so
uncompromising heart
surprised
the words that they are
by
speaking
how
to
much
the
content
world,
they've made
as
here.
though there were no consequences
It's
for a lack of
unbelievable. It
cohesion
is
in one's
annoying.
assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave.
Let's go. Maybe I just have to listen to him.
End is never the end, 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 is never the
Jesus. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, can we get out of it now? Can't really see. That's cool. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ah. Maybe now we can get the fuck out of here. Or not. This is so cool. What a genius. What a fucking good game. I'm sorry, if you don't like this game, then you're broken inside, because this is fucking awesome. Yes, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but... And yes, it's not really a game, but it's more of an experience, but it's fucking... so smart. Oh, hello. Fair dues. How much time has gone past? We're going to be in like the future at some point. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't like that. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Is the button broken now? Oh fuck. Alrighty. Don't really have a... Whoa. Don't really have any idea... Oh, was that the end? Or was... That was wild.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages.
Yeah, I
If at
got
any
that
time
last
you
time.
believe you are listening to a recorded message, Please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Oh, we're back here, though. We're back in normal. There's no narration. Can we go this? Yep. No.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Okay. Oh. Jesus. This is wild, man.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Uh-oh.
Why, I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What the fuck?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Sure.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think?
Back two doors. That's funny.
The Stanley Parable 2. Now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
Scrum.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sure. Where am I? Oh my god, do I have to go through this? Yep. This is wildly awesome.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Merch. Reassurance bucket. Okay. Merch. Hear your name in the game. Shut up, seriously?
For the Stanley Parable 2,
Oh.
I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people.
Sure.
So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is.
That's
Here,
bloody good.
Let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Sure. Will do, babe, will do.
Jim.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Oh my god.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Okay. Not weird at all. Okay, bye.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Fuck. Free map. Free map. Jump circle. This map. Q. It's not even a Q on there. This is so weird.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Probably not.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes, you see, okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Alright, thanks for that. That was fucking pointless. That was weird. No more weird than the rest of
What
it.
else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
The infinity hole. Oh, the jump circle. Haven't been there.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
What the hell is this way? The fuck is this thing?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I really want to... Oh, fuck it then. There we go.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Okay.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I've prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was infinite, but come on. Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Sure. Right. That all seemed a little pointless, but whatever. We've done that shit. What now? I think that's it, isn't it? Oh, we didn't do the...
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Okay. I changed my mind again. The reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on,
give it a go, I suppose.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Okay, brilliant.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. I now have a
Does
bucket.
anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Sure, where's the fucking exit? Weird. I don't get this. Why is... Where does this go? The settings world champion. What? What? Okay, where's the exit? I saw a sign for it. Exit. Let's get the fuck out of here, shall we? How do I get out? There. Okay, I gotta go to the loot. This game's fucking weird. Alright. Let's get out of here. I suppose. Don't really know what I'm doing.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah. Pretty cool.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, God.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game.
Yeah, me too.
No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, God.
Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
What? Seriously? No.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Sure.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Sure. Da 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 da. Dun da 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 da. Bo-ba-dum-ba. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do dun dun ba da da. Sorry, I've got just doing some shit. Do dun dun dun. Da da da. Do 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 do. Da da da. Ba da. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Da 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 da. Da 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 ba da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. I don't know. Da 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 da. Da da. Ba da da. Ba da. Don't know. Ba da da da. Da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Dur, 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 dur. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. Sorry, miles away, in my own little world. So it started again, but it's the same game, right?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Oh, it's got the
Stanley
balloons.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's wonderful. Ugh. Do 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 do. Alrighty. Okay. Is it going to be the infinite hole somewhere or something? That'd be funny. Oh, the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
That's brilliant. Hang on, where's the new content door? Is that gone? Oh, I think we've lost the new content door. Okay, this is weird now, man. I love it. It's exactly the same, but they've added the...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Alright, let's just go where it wants us to go.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now. But
have
you're
it.
Strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion.
Have it. I don't want it.
Friend. You can't hand it over. Oh no. We're getting into name calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults?
I don't want the
simply in order
fucking
to get
bucket.
You to hand over the bucket. Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of
I
reasons.
don't want the
Even
bucket.
Worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply
Oh, dude.
the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends. That your relationship is purely superficial and
Yeah,
convenient,
yeah, probably.
That your life is so banal and meaningless that
Probably.
you feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner. Well,
Sure, sure.
Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments.
Oh my god, just
Expand
let me put the
on wide
bucket down.
variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries
Oh,
detailing the
God,
rich
shut
emotional
up.
landscape of your feelings for the bucket. As coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Shut up about the fucking bucket. We've been here before.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes.
Yeah.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay. This is so weird.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him,
comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Sure. I'm very confused.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I know,
What
right?
horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Stop saying Stanley in the bucket. It's so fucking weird.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
It's so weird.
Had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Sure. Alright, let's go. If we can, we go. Come on then, bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Probably.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Oh, Lord. This is so fucking weird.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Sure.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its...
But I've got a bucket now.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Sure.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together.
Sure.
With one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
Oh, shit.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket.
What the fuck?
Needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, or go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Yeep. What the fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I don't
Stanley
know.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't want the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Alright.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on it. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
No, it's
but
not.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Sure. So fucking weird. Oh shit. Alright, let's do it.
In here,
Said the bucket.
go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
What? Uh-oh. What the
Now pick
fuck?
up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up.
What the fuck?
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Shit, dude. Where's my bucket? Oh, this is nice. Oh, okay. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Oh, God.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Okay.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
You say so. Oh, fuck.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Where's my bucket?
Once upon a time, it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Where's my bucket? Whoa.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket.
Where's my
this
bucket?
Sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier. more capable of transporting liquid.
This is
Like it would be
fucking
better
weird.
at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I
Jesus.
saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
I don't know, mate. Oh. Oh, God, I'm there again.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the
Oh,
bucket.
fuck.
Oh, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket
Oh
has to say.
my
Do anything it
God.
asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley,
God.
give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
What the fuck? What the fuck? Where's my bucket?
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
No, we didn't.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then, something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance
Oh my
and
God.
wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps.
What the
How
fuck?
did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. Now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley!
Where's my
Stanley,
bucket?
It's me, the bucket.
Where's my bucket?
He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Oh my
He
fucking
had to find the
Christ.
bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
The fuck are you going on about?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Yeah.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But
Oh,
on this
no.
particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Marietta thought.
Jesus
She hugged her
Christ.
own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
What the actual fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Don't
Stanley decided to go to
know.
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
I don't know.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
I don't know
and
what I
bolted
haven't
the door
done.
on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright, that's just that.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it
Yeah.
the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. Alright, I think we'll do this bit, and we'll probably call it a day. So I'm getting a bit fed up. I don't know what the ending is, what the actual ending is, if there is one. I'm just getting a bit fed up doing this now. So what we'll do
Stanley
is...
and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
No, he didn't.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
I'm very
The door behind
confused.
them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Excellent. I've still got my bucket.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be.
Sure.
Sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Alright, bye. Ah, it's this crap again.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator. as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In
Yeah.
a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
My poor bucket.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest.
Okay.
It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Oh my god. Is it all going to be about the bucket? Oh my fucking god.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Oh my god.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
What? What the fuck?
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Okay. Oh crap.
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Oh my actual fuck. This is fucking weird, and I like it. I like it. I like the weirdness. Okay.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it.
What the
If
fuck?
he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What? Do I need my bucket?
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
Oh
He'd
my.
never be alone again. Not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
What the fuck?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door.
I think we've done everything there.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, we went that way.
And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nah.
Oh, good Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Oh!
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
Why is there a big
I know I'm the
baby?
one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the
Oh
fans
my
want. Let's
god.
do it.
This is so fucked up.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes, it's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But
What
if
the
you want to
fuck?
do that, you're going to have to give something up.
The bucket. Not giving up my bucket.
Don't you get it, Stanley?
No.
We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
What the
I
fuck?
think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality
I
that
don't
to
wanna
me,
get-
it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
I don't want to get rid of my bucket.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does?
No.
Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what
I'm
they
trying.
want.
This game's wild. It's fucking insane.
Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
What the actual fuck is going on? I'm very... It's gone off the rails. It was really interesting to begin with. It's gone a bit off the rails now. All this shit about a bucket is very, very strange. It's gone a bit... I don't know what to do now.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Okay. It's that fucking bucket again.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I didn't pick up the bucket. What the fuck? What?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
No.
Stanley figs. What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another
Oh
standard
God, shut
under
up.
your
All
belt.
right, I'm getting pissed off now. This is getting boring. Whoa. Yeah, I'm getting a bit fed up of this game. Not gonna lie.
Here's the door. Just go.
Yeah, I've had enough now. I'm sure there's loads more doing stuff, but I can't be asked. That looks interesting. Where's that? Don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching. Don't think we'll play this again. It's really interesting. It's just getting a bit on my tits now. But anyway, thanks for watching. See you in a bit.